Alright, hello and welcome. This is Cho Assassin and we are playing Kerbal Space Program. I am showing you the only thing I have been able to get into orbit, and that is my satellite, CRS-1. It is a communications relay satellite, CRS. And I kinda wanna play Kerbal Space Program almost like Scott Manley, where things are reusable, but maybe not to that extent. I have a bunch of debris lying around in the universe already. But I'm not really good at this game. But I do enjoy trying to play it and you know, just having fun and just exploring different things. We're in 0.19.1. It is the newest update to Kerbal Space Program. Let's zoom ourselves a little bit faster so we can see this in the light, since we happen to be on the dark side of the planet. And we'll just give it a second. Alright. Okay. So, as a communications relay satellite, I have looked up several on the internet, and they look something like this. They're kind of boxy. They have a bunch of antennas and dishes. One dish is to take the incoming signals, while the other dish is to send out the signals. And then this particular one is to relay the signals straight back down to the planet. There are a bunch of different satellites where they will be a relay-to-relay satellite, basically sending the signals over vast distances to cover an area on the planet. So say, we're just going to zoom out a little bit. Like this little satellite could probably cover a greater portion of what we can see on the screen. I know a little bit more than I should about satellites, but we're not gonna discuss much about that. So as this particular one, I have a solar array, I have batteries on the side, I have two of these circle liquid fuel oxidizer. They're very tiny, they're like 5 I don't know, liters, or potentially, I don't know, everything in this game is metric, so I'm gonna assume that it's liters. Oh no, I put the batteries on bad. Oh wow. Oh well, they still survived. But, so this satellite will last forever, but it's in a very low Kerbal orbit, so, you know, 77. As we take a look at our map, 77, I was able to get it in that pretty successfully, almost dead geosynchronous orbit, and that's what these satellites are supposed to be in. It just means that they are the same distance from the periapsis and the apoapsis around the planet, and this planet is Kerbal, of course. So I want to try to get a few comm satellites into space around this planet, particularly in the longitude fashion, and I already have a latitude one, but we can probably get some, you know, I don't know, I was thinking maybe diagonals in here, but generally satellites don't run like that. They run in a circular geosynchronous orbit, not in a diagonal, even though we can get into complications of things, how planets actually spin in this direction and not in a circular direction like we are watching it. But I digress. So the whole purpose that I want to do in this, I guess I can call it a small series, is to send satellites to all the different entities, and then eventually, well, I guess at the same time, I want to set up a manned mission, so Kerbal mission, to land on the moon, or Mun, and to land on Minmus. And we also want to try to create habitable, I guess, landing stations on Duna and some of the other planets, so that they can just like I said within Scott Manley, kind of like make space travel a an everyday thing, so that it'd be easy to go back and forth in between the different planets. There's a bunch of other guys that I like to watch. Macy Dean, he has some pretty cool things, but I like his small videos that he has where he has space battles and everything, and I thought that was amazing. I'm not that coordinated to do any of that. I'm barely coordinated to get a satellite in space. And if anybody knows how to get rid of debris laying in the, going around in circles as well. This is actually a decoupler. I can't focus on it or anything. I don't think so. No. Okay. Oh well. But it's a decoupler. And then this is... I successfully, quote-unquote, successfully landed the base launcher, but the engine blew up, and all other engines blew up, scattered about 2.5 kilometers away. So so much for a successful mission. I didn't put any feet on him or anything. But let's get ourselves back and let's launch another satellite. And this will be CS2. So this is a very similar design to Scott Manley. I'll zoom out for you. I am unable to get the other solid fuel boosters to attach, so I got these tiny ones to do it instead, and this turns out pretty well. I have Scott's like his stuff right here, the fuel array, the fuel tank 1. Those are all his designs, but I modified this one slightly. I still don't understand the jet engines over regular engines. These engines don't use as much fuel at all, so that helps, but it's not enough to get it off the ground so that I have enough to do anything in space. So you'll see. I find it to be a pretty impractical design altogether. I could probably take off these parachutes since they actually serve no purpose. So let's do that. And then there's a little less added weight on here. RCS will help us. Batteries just in case. Advanced SAS. And then here's the box, the satellite I was telling you about. So this is what it looks like before it's deployed. But let's fix the batteries. So we're going to hit X, and that changes the symmetry. So we're going to grab the battery. We're going to try to make it as even as possible. So we're going to take off C to make it hard. There we go. So C does angle snap. And so C and X. There we go. I don't really care what the other letters do for any of this other stuff. It doesn't mean anything to me, but center of mass, it kind of helps you out so that you can balance your ship a little bit more, so when it's up in the air it's not going to be top heavy or anything. The lift, it's generally always going to be in the center of the aircraft where all the thrust pushes down, or where the thrust pushes up, I should say, pushes the aircraft up, and then the center of thrust. So how centered you are in the platform on the bottom, actually, so you can recenter your stuff. And you can hear my cat being chased by my wife because she despises the thing, but whatever. Alright, so let's launch this thing. Yes, we already have it on the field. I get that. Hopefully it clears it altogether. So I have created action groups for this as well, and it's fairly simple. I didn't know how to do it at first, and I asked many people and just figured it out on my own. But so what we're going to do is we're going to toss our throttle up, so I'm holding shift, and that brings this right here all the way up. And we're going to hit 1, and that's going to turn on my engines, because I've set I toggled the engines here to the action group 1. And I wait until they're about 100 kilonewtons in thrust, don't want to exceed 200 meters per second below 10,000 meters, since what that does is that it will reduce fuel consumption, and you want to try to conserve as much fuel as you possibly can up to 10,000. And I shut off these engines because they don't do very well because they're air-breathing engines, and as you can see up at the top where the atmosphere is, the dark blue, or this cadet blue next to the I guess regular blue, and then sky blue here. We can use these three colors. So once we get past the regular blue, we're going to have to already have our main engine on. So past this line right above the H, that's when I want to turn my main engine on. I'm not doing so hot, going up in the air, so let's readjust ourselves. Since those boosters, they seem to do their own thing. So I'm going to turn up the thrust a little bit more. Toss this same main booster on until we get to about 150. Maybe a little less. Okay, so I'm going to hold it. I want to keep it more than 100 and less than 200. And I'm like, throttling on, throttling off as we go. So 150 is good. Okay, so now we're at 11. So they call this thing the gravity turn. Real spacecraft do this in real life. It's to help it get a better orbit around the planet and to escape the gravitational pull. So let's keep ourselves right there. I'm going to turn my RCS on. I have so much RCS, it's a lot of components right here. I can use the entire thing. I actually deorbit this using one of the components only. And after you hit 10,000, like I said, it's okay to go faster than the 200. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on how much this all goes into. So right about here, like I said, oh, maybe before the H. So I have to turn on the main booster, and we have to turn off our regular engines, because about 17,000 meters, they cut out altogether, and your aircraft just flips around like a big thing that flips around in space. I don't have something for you. So I have an action group to, I don't have an action group, I have the next setting, the next one right here, to shoot off all of these engines, but I don't need to do that. It's not necessary for me. Alright, so we did our orbital turn. We're going to stick at this 45 degrees, this line right here, it goes across. This is, all you have to know is that here's the 50, here's 40, and that line represents 45. It's the perfect angle to go up, to go into space. So I hit M, M pulls up my map. You can also hit this right here, or orbit map. And I'm going to watch this to see, so I want to get less than 70,000. And if I hit on my number pad, the delete key, or the period key, not your period or greater than key on your regular keyboard, but it pulls up my small map right here. So we're going pretty fast. We're watching my fuel on the side. We're okay. As soon as I hit 70 or 70 some, I'm going to hit X on my keyboard. Okay, X. There we go. X. What that does is it cuts my throttle altogether. I'm going to allow gravity to pull me back and reduce my apoapsis right here. As it reduces my apoapsis and I hit about 70, I'm going to jettison my satellite. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should actually create a circular orbit first. Okay, let's do that. We're going to create a circular orbit. Now, there are several different ways you can do this, so I have a minute to tell you about this, because we're going to start it at 20 seconds. So you can add a maneuver, and you can use the different keys on here. What this one does is that it pulls the line into the planet, and this one pulls the line off center of the planet. You can actually see it better when you have an orbit. This one increases the orbit altogether, see, like that. But I never get it right, so this is 76 and that's 182, that's terrible. This does the tilt, and then I'll show you what this does. So, see what it did? It off-kiltered the whole orbit, so now it's an oblong orbit. I don't want that. So I'm going to do it by ear. We're going to hit off T. Oops. I have a few seconds to get over there. Okay, I want to line up these keys right here. How much time I got? 15 seconds? That's perfect. Okay, hold. Okay, I'm increasing my throttle all the way. And what it's going to do is that it's going to try to create an orbit for me. And I'm going to get it. But hopefully hopefully before I fall into the planet. And we're going to watch it. Watch for the other side. Watch it. Alright. We're going to increase it just a little bit. We'll fix this orbit when we get... So we want to hit... We want to make sure that this hits 70. Otherwise we're going to fall back into the planet. And 70 it is. Okay, so now we have to fix this. So what we'll do is that we're going to go on the other side to reduce the orbit. And we need to wait till we get to this point to reduce it. Alright, sorry about that, but let's, like I was saying, let's flip ourselves back over to the other side. This will help us to reduce the opposite. If I can get it to work. Come on. A very large aircraft sometimes can take a long time. Okay, so let's see if we can lock ourselves in place. And we'll just use the rest of our fuel to try to do this. 70. Oh, look at that. Wow. It's almost good. So I'll try to increase it again. Alright. So right now I'm playing the little game back and forth, trying to get this to work. Alright, I got plenty of time. Let's just get ourselves back over. Like I said, not the best at this. Alright, so we'll have our holder position right there. We'll turn off the RCS, it's gonna just throw us all around. And how much fuel is left? So let's right click on this. Oh, there's enough fuel to make us a tiny bit bigger. Okay, so there's the greater than and less than sign on your keyboard, or period and comma. The comma one, or the greater than, is to slow down time up here, your warp time. And obviously the other one is to increase it. So you can increase it when you are in outer space all the way, as long as you're beyond 70. And then it will also tell you at certain heights you can only increase it up to a certain point. I think it's 100,000 meters. You can increase it even further in your speed. So I was thinking about doing that, but I guess alright, just like that we have a small orbit. Just took a tiny little bit of fuel. Alright, so let's go back to our main view. Okay, and since we're on the correct direction, let's we're not going to hit space or anything. We're going to hit 3. Okay, that did it. What 3 does is that it's going to activate my engine here, and then I'm going to right click on the decoupler, and we're going to decouple it. And there we are. This is a satellite, so I'm going to hit 0, opens up the communications portions, and 9, which will open up the solar panels, and then we're going to increase our throttle just to get away. There we go. Okay. Now it's on the same thing, so let's turn it around. Maybe we can slowly decrease it. I guess I should wait till I'm on the other side. Alright, let's fast forward time. Okay, so a bunch of finagling around, and we get ourselves another satellite in space. Okay, lock it in place. I believe this is my launcher, so let's rename this one, and this will be CRS-2. And you can tell it what it is whenever you rename it. Okay, so let's see if I can launch back. No? Okay, so the easy way to get back to your other ships in orbit, go back to your space center, click on the satellite, you're going to click on the correct one that it is. Okay, so we're going to slowly fall out of the orbit. We're going to put ourselves in this position. This will deorbit us. So hold. And where we at? Okay, it's okay to fire whatever remaining fuel we got left, which isn't very much. Yep. So cut our fuel, and we no longer have a periapsis. So now we will be able to deorbit. So let's just increase our speed until we get to that point, and then as soon as you hit less than 70, it will time warp you more. And then it goes into physical time warp. So I'm going to take off everything. So I'm using physical time warp to do this. I think it's N. Which one does it? Will it be H? I think it's H. So if you hold H, that will help you deorbit, but that's using your monopropellant. Yep, H. So you can see our speed. Hopefully, so I want to see these re-entry effects that came into play. And there are no parachutes on this thing, so if it lands in the water, technically it's a success. I highly doubt it will land in the water. Oh look, there we go, re-entry effects. And the monopropellant just going everything. And you get the white effects, which is speed. Oh, we're gonna crash straight into the ground. Alright, let's watch this then. I think it's this one. No? There we go. And blow up into 1,000,000 pieces. And look what survived. The control piece. As it's spazzing out. turn off that, and turn off our physical time warp. And we can actually end its flight since there's nothing left. So let's go back to the tracking station. And there it is, the lander and all its debris. Here's our launch pad. And like I said before, if anybody knows how to get rid of all this debris, I looked at all the different files inside of the where this is saved, and I just can't find anything that has to do with debris. But if you know how to delete it, let me know. Next episode we will... what will we do? I guess let's send a manned mission around the planet. Yeah, we can do that. Until next time.